Film fans of YouTube, hello and welcome back to the channel. My name is Josh, your Movie Apprentice, and today we continue the Studio Ghibli watch through with Princess Mononoke, directed by Hayao Miyazaki. After a run-in with a demon boar, a cursed prince heads west to try and find a cure, only to end up in the middle of a war between some industrial humans and the gods of the forest. Now before I get into this review, if you do like what I do on this channel, consider clicking that like button and subscribing to the channel. It really helps with the algorithm, helps the videos get out there. And without further ado, let's get into this review. Now, first thing I have to say is that this is probably the best looking Ghibli film. The art style is gorgeous, the colours are vibrant as hell, and the imagery is second to none. After the previous films had some very either out there concepts or very down to earth concepts, this one felt like a more streamlined narrative compared to a lot of their other works. It is a simple story set in ancient times in Japan, showing a linear story in a linear narrative. While it does have an amazing theme of nature and preserving it, and how there is no true evil, there is flaws on both sides, it does have a primary focus on maintaining the nature of the world over industrializing the world, which humanity is apt to do. But none of the characters in this have a distinctly good or evil personality. Everyone is an arsehole in their own way. Everyone's a good person in their own weird little way. And I like the way the film tries to humanize every single character, even though a couple of characters don't really live up to holding that standard, as some of the things they do are questionable considering some of the motives and morals that are presented to us earlier on in the movie itself. Our lead character is at the centre of this conflict, and while at times he does get a bit too pretentious in his motives, as he's trying to do the best of both, which a lot of people are trying to do these days, and he is one of those characters that he does his job, but I wouldn't say he's my most liked character in history. He just sort of seems to be a character that everyone loves for the sake of loving the lead. He doesn't really do much to justify the reasons why people love him so much. And there are some moments where he will do something that kind of negates some of the stuff that people love him for. And there comes a point of the movie where you have to question some of these characters for being characters, because there are a few instances where everything they love him for shouldn't really matter compared to what he is currently doing at the present moment in time. It seems like once people love this guy, it is impossible for them to dislike him in any way, shape or form. Now, he is the protagonist and he means well, and if they didn't all love him, this plotline wouldn't work, but I feel like that does hold the film back somewhat. Considering this is one of the bigger Ghibli films that everyone talks about, I must confess I was slightly disappointed by it. I don't know what it was, because I enjoyed the characters, I enjoyed the dialogue, I enjoyed the art style. I thought the colours in this were very vibrant, and I love the lore they introduce of these wolves and boars being these ancient mythological beings that are colliding with the mortal human world. And the way these guns are being used, the humans have guns in this, but the way they use it is very non-conventional to what we know today. I'm assuming that's exactly what the guns were like. Back then, we had to light it with a fuse as opposed to with a trigger, which I thought was a clever use of the history. But there was just something missing about this film. I don't know if it's having a main antagonist, because there isn't really an antagonist in this. There are some people that are pitched to us as antagonists, but the ones that seem to be the most evil ones, we never get to meet. There are a lot of characters that ride both sides of the line, and those that seem to just ride the bad side of the line, we never see, nor do we feel their presence all too much. And our leads, like I say, the main character does his job for what he needs to do, and the titular princess is not gonna lie, I was a little disappointed by her character. I won't go into too many details for those of you that haven't seen this movie, but I felt like for a character so famous, especially in the cinema world, I expected a bit more from this character. For someone that's supposed to be titular and strong and independent, she does end up as a damsel in distress and has to be saved quite a fair bit by our lead character, who is just generic hero villain that has all the great morals and has no flaws about him, which is unfortunately something that does hold this down for me. Yeah, this could be a very short review because it's one of those things I can't really put into words how I feel about this movie, because it's not bad by any means. I just don't think it's great. I think some of the films that are rated lower than this on IMDb from Ghibli are far better. Overall, the colours are great. The characters are decent. I love the fact that they ride both sides of the fence on most cases. I love the themes that they introduce. It felt like they took certain elements from these nature films like Ferngully and utilised them in this, but did it better. That wasn't overly pretentious and show that there's flaws on both sides of the argument. And even riding the middle ground and the best of both is also sometimes not the way to go. So it never really gives you an answer over who is right and who is wrong in this, even though we all deep down know the answer. But you don't hate the people going against the answer because their motives and morals are explained quite clearly to us. So for themes and art style and vibrant colours, it's a great film. It's just missing something on an emotional connection side. I find my favourite Ghibli films are the ones that I feel I can emotionally connect with. And Princess Mononoke wasn't one of those. It's a shame because there are some good set pieces. The March of the Hogs, the princess riding a wolf. Like, how does that not look badass in any form of media? There's only so much you can do with pretty visuals for me. You gotta grab me into a story, and this film doesn't do that for me. So overall, I'm gonna say that Princess Mononoke for me is an okay cup of tea. So, Princess Mononoke, have you seen it? If you have, let me know what you thought down in the comments below. If you do like what I do on this channel, consider clicking that like button and again subscribe to the channel as I get through the rest of the Ghibli films. Coming up, I'm looking at My Name is the Yamadas next, which is going to be an interesting one to look at say the least. And it's my last stop before the big one, Spirited Away. But until next time, my name is Josh, I have been Movie Apprentice, and I'll see you in the next video. Hey, thank you for watching and thank you for making it to the end of the video. While you are here, if you haven't done it yet, please feel free to drop a like and consider hitting that subscribe button for more reviews coming all the time. And also, while you are here, there are some other videos over there that you might want to sink your teeth into. Have a good day, guys, and do enjoy.